Welcome to Deep River Farm, folks. I appreciate you joining us here on this cool, very cloudy, rainy Monday. It's sitting about 45 degrees. We had some rain overnight. It's very cloudy, and I had told you last night we was wanting to talk about a very good email that came in to us. And we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to talk about the things. There's some good suggestions in here. I like the suggestion. It took quite a long time. Put a lot of thought into it on the suggestions. Now, this email is from Edward. I won't call his last name, but hopefully he's watching. He says, I've been watching your videos for some time, and I appreciate your efforts as well as Bud's. And all the relief centers to help those. Whoops, what happened here? We just got kicked out. I hate it when it does that mess. I don't know why it done that. I hit something wrong. Let's see if I can pull it back across here. Let's see, where did it go? No, there it is. Here we go. As well as the relief centers in Western North Carolina. We all know winter is coming and time is of the essence. Well, that's exactly right. Winter's coming. And just on that thought, folks, there's going to be another push by Prince Propane. They've got another Share the Warmth fund set up. It's the same fund as last year. We had a credit coming into this year. And with it being colder, and I'm going to share a picture with you that Bud shared with me over the past week. This is what it looks like just a little bit north of Beuladine. I think I'm saying that right. On one of the highest peaks in Western North Carolina. You're going to be surprised at what you see. And it's been like this for over a week now. But yeah, time is of the essence, and propane is going to be critical. He said, I emailed some suggestions to you earlier, and I got those, regarding the larger mega churches that might be able to assist in supplying the relief centers. Has anyone associated with the Mountain Relief contacted the large North Carolina and South Carolina churches to help? My suggestion was for the large churches to sponsor a relief center for a 6-month intervals, enough to get Western North Carolina folks through the winter. Well, be honest with you, Edward. We've put the call out and put the call out and put the call out, and what we're seeing is the small churches. Those are the ones that are stepping up. I've had a couple of not mega churches, but a couple of medium-sized churches. I would say those with congregations between 500 and 1,000 reach out, and they have helped supply the relief centers, but we've not had anybody just come on and say we want to sponsor one and contact myself or Bud to kind of help direct the needs in. Most everything that's coming in right now is all through smaller churches and individuals. It would be nice to have a big old church, that had 2 or 3, 4, 5,000 members step in and say, yeah, we want to help. But that has not been the case. I don't know why, but these smaller churches that's got less than 100 in their congregations are the ones that's bearing the load, so to speak, and have been the biggest resource and the most helpful so far throughout this effort. He goes on to say, one of your most recent videos mentions that scout troops, local churches and clubs, organizations, civic organizations, to adopt a relief center. That's a good start. That, unfortunately, there are less than 800 views on your channel, even with 24,000 subscribers. And Edward, that is exactly right. And I'll tell you why. We've been being shadow banned the whole time. In the last 3 and 4 years, we had another group in, and they were manipulating the tech companies. And since the hurricane hit, we have fell into that category where they just don't like any kind of religious content, any kind of homesteading, any kind of educational thing that would show people how to grow their own food. Any of these channels that talks about critical thinking for themselves and this type of thing. So basically what's happening is your children are going to school for 13 years and they come out, they don't know how to build a house, they don't know how to grow food, they don't know how to write a check, they can't tell time on a standard clock, they can't even count change back. And this is going through public education for 13 years. So what does that tell you about our education system? They come out and the only thing they know how to do is take a test. The history is being erased. We could go on and on and on about this situation. And, it's no fault of our teachers. It's the involvement of the government. When the government gets involved in stuff and they get their hand in it, it goes all to pieces. Used to, you could put a letter in the mail in Florida and it be in Maine in 3 days. Now you're lucky if you get it in 2 weeks. It's just another incident where you got too many chiefs, not enough Indians, and a lot of created positions that are non-essential that's in governmental waste. That's all it boils down to. He says, which brings me to another suggestion that you or someone within your organization contact other like-minded YouTube channels, which we have done that. I've been on the Papa Report. I've been on Peter Santinello. We've had John Ward of the Appalachian channel. We've had Patera of the Appalachian Homestead, the Presley Girls, Melanchthon Creek Farm, Midway Farm. There's been a lot of mentions, a lot of forwards of other YouTubers helping our effort. That's been a blessing. And without their pushing and their viewers seeing what's going on, our channel's being hidden. It's being suppressed. The views, the video's not being pushed out. Even though we get 1,000, 12, 1,500 views, it's not getting any further because they're setting it up where people can't see the truth. Let me see here. One more suggestion that I have is perhaps the Amazon wish list associated with relief centers to be streamlined. In other words, lots of items are expensive. One relief center has Bibles on their Amazon wish list for $25. Why not ask the churches to donate Bibles instead? And we have done that. We had a call for Bibles, and somewhere around 2,000 to 3,000 came in, and we have since passed those out, and that's been a big blessing. A lot of the relief centers were wanting Bibles, and we still periodically get Bibles in as well. Churches send in Bibles, a case of them, of Bibles, and they immediately go out to the relief centers. Let's see here. Some of the food items are expensive. Why not offer generic substitutes? Perhaps folks like name brand foods but would rather have quantity or name brand. There are generators on the Amazon wish list, and why? We put those on there so that they can be ordered, and they go directly to the relief center. They don't go to an individual or anything. Once they get to the relief center, the directors and the volunteers there put the oil in it, the gas, and everything like that. And he goes on to say here, realistically, if you supply one with a generator, then they would need the skill and the knowledge. And that's exactly what the relief center directors and the volunteers do. They show, most of the time, they take this generator and they set it up for the individual along with the right type of drop cord that they're going to need. And they show them how to check the oil, how to start it, and everything. And they explain to them how to run this generator and not overload anything. Some people are living in houses that are infested with mold and mildew, and they're still in the houses, even though it's not good for their health, and they're using a generator. And their wiring system is okay, but their basement may have been flooded or something like that, and it's not affected their wiring. So they're being instructed on how to use these generators, and they can only use like 220 volt product, like a stove, only by itself, because most of these generators are 5,500 and 6,500 watt units, and you can't overload it. So you can only run one major appliance at a time. Maybe you can heat your hot water heater up. That's it. Then you have to cut that off and turn your well pump on, and you can take a shower, for instance, like that. And then you have those that are just in a tiny shed, and that generator is only powering a light or maybe electric blankets or something like that, maybe some sort of electric heaters, and then they have to cut it off because you can't leave a generator running all night for that. So they've got the buddy heaters for backup for the propane to go through the night. And but most people in a tiny shed, most of them do not have a generator. They're relying on buddy heaters, sternos for cooking, propane for cooking, and things like that. Let's see here. And then he talks about realistically, if you supply people with generators, the skill and the knowledge, and then they need to have spare parts like oil, gas, and spark plugs, for example. Now we've supplying the relief centers with gas. Some of the Ingalls gift cards that come in, they can get gas at some of the Ingalls stations. They try to keep kerosene on hand. Mainly propane is what we're using for that. And the spark plugs issue is usually they don't have a problem with them for at least a year. There are some things to consider when offering generators and to someone, and that was buddy heaters, like we said. I'm telling you, he done some thinking going into this. He knows what he's talking about. He's asking the questions, and I appreciate that, because you get people out there who's got plenty of ideas. We've got people that are continually providing recipes of stuff that we're sending straight into Holly, and that will utilize party in the pan, and the leftover ingredients from that can be utilized on another meal, which they've already got leftover ingredients for. They just didn't know it. And so we're doing things like that as well. Let's see here. My last suggestions: drones. If Western North Carolina folks have no transportation and the weather is very treacherous, perhaps outfitting a few relief centers with drones so that they can deliver needed items in an emergency. We got one problem with that, and that is to operate a drone, you've got to have internet tied in so you can see the cameras on the apps and things for the drones. And a lot of the relief center areas are terrible on internet. Now, most of the volunteer fire departments have drones now. Since the hurricane, they've gotten side-by-sides now where they didn't have those type of equipment before. They've got side-by-sides now equipped with medical equipment that they can take out. They do have drones, and they are using these for search and rescue. We had a lady up in Bernardsville. I think I pronounced that right. I may have butchered it again. They used a drone up there to help find this lady that had been missing for a couple of days, and she was found and was safe and everything. But they have drones. Most of your medical facilities have drones and have the capability to operate those in remote areas using satellite, which the relief centers don't have access to because they're very expensive. And it's just, and then that type of drone now that could deliver something is a very expensive drone to be able to operate and purchase, and then you have to have somebody that can do the operating of the drone efficiently and have some good techniques, good training, and really good with all those toggles and things. Well, folks, I appreciate you joining me here today on Deep River Farm. We appreciate all the emails, the comments, and everything. The only way, folks, that we can beat the algorithm on these tech companies is for you to like it, give a thumbs up, not only in the live chat, but in the main body of the channel. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, and share it. That's the only way we can get the word out that these folks are still in terrible, terrible shape in Western North Carolina. You're not going to see anything on the mainstream news. I can tell you that. Bud nor myself have seen anybody up there with a camera from any kind of a news outlet in months and months and months. So that should tell you something right there. Now, if they go somewhere, they're going to your bigger towns like Asheville, and it's all portrayed as everything's good, tourism's back, the restaurants are open, Biltmore's open. Meanwhile, outside of those areas where they're getting big tax money coming back to the state, there's no help. Well, folks, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next video.